What if I told you that your manhood was never truly gone, only waiting to be awakened again? What if the spark you thought had slipped away with age could be revived, not with another prescription bottle, not with another blue pill that leaves you worried about side effects, but with something so natural it has been used for centuries, something already sitting quietly on the shelves of countless homes? I'm talking about castor oil. For most men over 60, the quiet fading of intimacy feels like an inevitable part of aging. You wake up one morning and realize your body doesn't respond as it used to. Erections feel softer, sensation feels muted, and confidence slowly gives way to doubt. I've seen this in my patients countless times. But what I want you to hear today is this: you are not broken, and you are not finished. Castor oil is more than an old remedy. It can boost circulation, reawaken sensitivity, and restore confidence. I'm Dr. Maya Kapoor, and for over 3 decades, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Men who walked into my office with embarrassment in their eyes, convinced that the best years of intimacy were behind them. But I've also seen those same men walk out weeks later, smiling with relief, because they discovered that the body never truly forgets how to heal. It only needs the right tools. Castor oil is one of those tools, and in this story, I'll show you how and why. We'll explore its effect on circulation, how it helps reduce silent inflammation, how it reawakens sensitivity many thought was gone, and how it brings back something deeper than performance, confidence, connection, and the quiet dignity of feeling alive in your own skin again. Let me start with a story about David, one of my patients in his early 70s. He was a retired carpenter, strong in his younger days, but now he carried himself with a heavy silence. When he first came to me, he admitted he hadn't felt a strong erection in almost 2 years. His wife was patient and loving, but David confessed that every night he turned away in shame, convinced he had failed her. Instead of another pill, I suggested something simple. Begin applying warm castor oil packs to his lower abdomen and groin 3 times a week, paired with gentle pelvic massage. Within a month, David returned with tears in his eyes. "Doc," he said, "it feels like my body finally remembered me." What he experienced wasn't magic, it was biology. Castor oil has unique compounds, most notably ricinoleic acid, which penetrates deep into tissues, increasing circulation and reducing inflammation in ways most oils cannot. When blood begins to flow freely again, when tissues soften and nerves reawaken, the body responds in ways many men had long given up on. To understand why castor oil is so powerful, you need to know what really lies behind erectile decline. It's rarely just about testosterone or desire. More often, the problem is poor blood flow, chronic low-grade inflammation, and tiny blockages in the pelvic vessels that quietly build up over years. By your 60s, this rusting of the circulatory system becomes obvious. Your legs feel heavier, your back feels stiffer, your mornings are quieter than you'd like to admit. Pharmaceutical pills may push blood temporarily, but they don't fix the foundation. Castor oil, however, works differently. Applied topically, it encourages vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, while its anti-inflammatory compounds soothe irritated tissues around the prostate and penis. The result is not just temporary firmness, but a gradual restoration of responsiveness. George, another patient, experienced something similar. At 68, he had nearly given up on intimacy. After years of high blood pressure medication, he believed the numbness he felt below the belt was permanent. I asked him to try a nightly ritual: massage a teaspoon of castor oil into the lower abdomen and inner thighs before bed. followed by placing a warm towel over the area for 15 minutes. At first, he was skeptical. After all, it sounded too simple. But after 3 weeks, George walked into my office with a grin I hadn't seen before. "It's not just that I can get hard again," he told me. "It's that I actually feel alive down there." That phrase stuck with me because for so many men, the real loss isn't only firmness, it's sensation, the quiet joy of feeling connected to their own body. Castor oil has the rare ability to reawaken that. Science supports these stories. Studies have shown that castor oil stimulates lymphatic flow, the body's natural cleansing system, helping to flush out toxins and reduce stagnation around the pelvis. When lymph fluid moves freely, swelling decreases, inflammation calms, and circulation improves. Think of it as unclogging the hidden pipes of your masculinity. Over time, this not only enhances erections, but also supports prostate health, reducing the risk of discomfort, enlargement, or painful inflammation. It's a holistic effect because the body is never just about one part. When circulation improves in the pelvis, men often report better digestion, fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, and even deeper sleep. But here's what makes castor oil especially unique for older men. It addresses not only the physical side, but the emotional weight of aging. Frank, a 70-year-old widower, once told me, "It's not just about sex. It's about feeling like I still matter." After months of struggling with depression and low energy, he began using castor oil as part of a nightly self-care routine, massaging his chest, abdomen, and lower back with slow, intentional strokes. Within weeks, he noticed more than physical changes. He felt calmer, lighter, even hopeful. That's because castor oil doesn't just work on blood flow, it also stimulates the release of oxytocin and endorphins, those feel-good hormones that lower stress and increase emotional connection. For older men, this can mean the difference between intimacy feeling like pressure and intimacy feeling like joy. You see, intimacy after 60 isn't just about performance, it's about presence. It's about being able to hold your partner without shame, to look them in the eye without fear, to feel your body respond with dignity. Castor oil, humble as it may seem, offers a doorway back into that presence. It's not a miracle cure, but it's a bridge between who you fear you've become and the man you still are inside. When I first began introducing castor oil to my older patients, many laughed. "Doc, that's what my grandmother used for constipation," one man joked, and he wasn't wrong. Castor oil has been used for centuries as a household remedy for everything from digestive troubles to skin wounds. But what most men don't realize is that the same properties that make it a powerful healing oil for the gut and skin also make it a quiet ally for sexual health. The skin and tissues around the groin are incredibly absorbent. When castor oil is applied and gently warmed, its fatty acids penetrate deeper than most oils, stimulating circulation where it matters most. Instead of forcing blood flow with chemicals, it gently invites your body to remember how to respond naturally. That's why I call it the oil of remembrance, the oil that helps your body recall what it was designed to do. Alan, 66, came to me with a problem many men are too embarrassed to speak aloud. He couldn't stay hard long enough to satisfy his partner. Pills helped, but they left him with headaches and a pounding heart. His wife encouraged him to look for a gentler solution. I guided him through a simple castor oil protocol. 3 nights a week, he would soak a flannel cloth in warm castor oil, place it across his lower abdomen, cover it with a heating pad, and rest quietly for 30 minutes. He thought it sounded silly, almost too easy. Yet within 2 weeks, Alan noticed something. "It's not just that I last longer," he confessed. "It's that I don't feel tense anymore. I can enjoy the moment instead of worrying about the end." Castor oil helps blood flow while calming tension, turning intimacy into connection instead of pressure. From a medical perspective, this makes perfect sense. Castor oil reduces prostaglandin-mediated inflammation, calming the tissues around the prostate and penile arteries. When these tissues relax, blood flows more freely and erections become easier to achieve and maintain. But beyond the biology, there's another hidden gift: ritual. For older men, creating a soothing nightly ritual with castor oil can transform intimacy from a chore into an act of self-respect. The warmth, the scent, the touch, all of it tells the nervous system, you are safe, you are cared for, you are still alive. That's why so many men report not only firmer erections, but also deeper sleep and reduced anxiety after adopting this practice. Walter's story illustrates this beautifully. At 74, he had endured years of pelvic discomfort and frequent urination, convinced it was simply old man problems. His son finally persuaded him to see me, and after testing, we found his prostate was inflamed but not yet severely enlarged. Instead of rushing into invasive treatments, I suggested he try castor oil packs 3 times weekly. Walter was skeptical, but he agreed. After a month, he returned with a surprising smile. "Doc," he said, "I'm sleeping through the night again. And to be honest, I didn't think it was possible, but I'm waking up with morning erections." That shift wasn't just physical, it gave Walter hope. For men over 60, hope is often the missing medicine. It's important to address a common concern. Some men ask, "Will castor oil really make me young again?" And I answer honestly, no, it won't turn back the clock. But it can help you step into this chapter of life with strength, vitality, and dignity. The goal isn't to mimic your 20-year-old self. The goal is to restore enough circulation, sensation, and hormonal balance so that intimacy feels joyful again, not forced or shameful. Castor oil supports this by working at the foundation, healing inflammation, moving stagnant lymph, nourishing tissues, and calming the nervous system. Now, let's talk about sensation. Many men over 60 complain not only of weaker erections, but also of reduced feeling. Touch feels muted, climax feels less powerful, and sometimes they wonder if their nerves are simply dead. But nerves don't die so easily, they sleep. By reducing inflammation, castor oil gently reawakens nerves. James, 69, told me he felt like intimacy had become mechanical. "I go through the motions, but I don't feel much," he admitted. After 6 weeks of castor oil massage, he came back with a grin. "Doc, it's like someone turned the volume back up. I didn't know I could feel that much again." That's the beauty of nourishing the body instead of forcing it. The return of sensation is not just physical, it's emotional, reminding a man that he's still capable of joy. Of course, castor oil is not a cure-all. I always remind my patients that true wellness comes from a combination of habits. A balanced diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods, regular movement, stress management, and open communication with a partner all amplify the benefits of castor oil. But as a tool, it offers something unique: simplicity. You don't need a prescription. You don't need expensive treatments. You don't need to explain embarrassing side effects. All you need is consistency and willingness to care for your body. Perhaps the most touching feedback I've received came from Harold, a 71-year-old grandfather. After months of using castor oil, he told me, "It's not just that I feel more alive in the bedroom. It's that I feel more alive everywhere. I play with my grandkids. I walk with more energy. I even laugh more. It's like something inside me woke up." That statement captures what this journey is really about. Intimacy is not separate from life, it's a reflection of it. When your circulation improves, when your nerves awaken, when your confidence returns, the ripple effect touches every corner of your existence. Castor oil is humble, yes. It doesn't come in glossy packaging or promise overnight miracles, but it carries the wisdom of centuries and the quiet strength of nature. For men over 60, it can be the gentle key that unlocks not only better intimacy, but also a deeper sense of vitality. And as we move forward, I'll show you exactly how to use it, step by step, so you can reclaim the energy, strength, and closeness you thought was lost for good. So how do you actually begin? Most men hear about castor oil and think it's complicated or messy. But in truth, the method is simple. Start with quality, cold-pressed castor oil, organic if possible. Warm a small amount between your hands until it feels comfortable. Then massage it gently into your lower abdomen, inner thighs, or lower back before bed. Take your time, breathe deeply, and let this act feel like care rather than duty. For stronger results, soak a clean cloth in castor oil, place it over your lower belly, and cover with a hot water bottle or heating pad for 20 to 30 minutes. This warmth drives the oil deeper, increasing circulation and soothing the tissues around your prostate and pelvic floor. 3 times a week is enough for most men, but many enjoy it nightly as a calming ritual before sleep. Frank once asked me if he needed to explain this to his partner. I told him the truth. Intimacy flourishes with openness. Many of my patients have found that involving their partners transforms the ritual into something even more healing. One man, Harold, told me his wife would sit beside him as he rested with the castor oil pack, her hand on his shoulder. He said, it wasn't even about sex that night. It was about feeling cared for. Weeks later, their physical intimacy returned naturally, not from pressure, but from connection. That's the deeper secret of castor oil. It doesn't just restore function, it restores presence. Let's be honest, aging changes a man's body. Hormones shift, vessels stiffen, nerves become quieter. But aging does not erase desire, nor does it erase the right to feel alive. Castor oil, in its quiet way, helps bridge the gap between biology and spirit. By stimulating circulation, it supports firmer erections. By calming inflammation, it protects the prostate. By enhancing lymphatic flow, it keeps tissues clean and responsive. And by lowering stress through gentle hormonal support, it helps a man feel emotionally open again. It's not one benefit, it's a ripple of benefits, weaving together into something far more powerful than any pill. Alan, who once struggled to last more than a few minutes, came back months later and said, "Doc, I don't even count time anymore. I'm just there, enjoying it." David, who thought intimacy was gone forever, told me his marriage felt renewed. And George, who had resigned himself to numbness, found himself laughing again with his wife in bed. These are not just medical outcomes. They are human victories. They are reminders that healing is not about chasing youth, but about honoring the man you are today with tools that work with your body, not against it. Give it the right conditions and it remembers. Just like a plant wilting in poor soil, your masculinity doesn't vanish. It only needs nourishment. Castor oil is one way of watering that soil, feeding circulation, calming the hidden fires of inflammation, and waking up nerves that still long to feel. When you treat your body with respect, it responds with gratitude. And that gratitude shows up not just in your bedroom, but in your confidence, your energy, and the way you carry yourself every day. Now, I want to leave you with this image. Picture yourself 1 week from today. You've begun your nightly ritual, carving out just 20 minutes for yourself. You notice your sleep feels deeper, your mornings lighter. Perhaps you feel a quiet warmth in your pelvis you hadn't noticed in years. Maybe your partner looks at you differently because you're standing a little taller, smiling a little wider. That's not fantasy. That's the body saying thank you. And if you continue week after week, that spark will grow stronger. Aging does not have to mean fading. It can mean refining, deepening, even blossoming. The men I've worked with, David, George, Alan, Harold, Frank, Walter, James, they are living proof that vitality after 60 is not a dream, it's a choice. They chose to believe they were not finished. They chose to try something simple, natural, and consistent, and their lives changed. Yours can too. So here's my challenge to you. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for another disappointment or another quiet night of shame. Begin tonight. Warm the oil, breathe deeply. Give yourself permission to care for the body that has carried you through decades of life. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to the relationships that still matter. Castor oil is not a miracle. You are. It's simply the reminder your body needed to show you that you are still whole, still capable, still alive. I'm Dr. Maya Kapoor, and after 30 years of helping men rediscover their vitality, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. You are not broken, you are not past your prime, and your story is far from over. The spark is still within you. All you have to do is invite it back. If this message speaks to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Type 1 in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your vitality, or 0 if you're skeptical. I welcome both, because every man's journey is different. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another natural health breakthrough designed for men like you. Remember, healing isn't about racing backward to youth. It's about moving forward with dignity, strength, and confidence. Your body still remembers. Let castor oil help it show you the way.